Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the wacky, the wild, the what were they thinking world of worst wild imagination. We asked you guys to send in your craziest dreams, your most out there fantasies. And let me tell you, you did not disappoint. But here's the twist. We took those dreams, those beautiful sparkly daydreams, and we gave them a reality check. And by reality check, I mean we imagined all the ways they could go hilariously, terribly wrong. We're talking epic fails, facepalm moments, the kind of stuff that makes you want to crawl under a rock and just stay there. So buckle up, folks, because we're about to take a wild ride through the upside-down, inside-out world of worst wild imagination. Get ready to laugh, cringe, and maybe even shed a tear or two of laughter, hopefully. Let's do this thing. All right, so picture this. You wake up, the sun's streaming in, birds are chirping, and bam, you're a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Pretty awesome, right? Well, not so much for Gary from Omaha. Gary's dream of being the king of the dinos turned into a total train wreck. First off, let's talk about the obvious spatial awareness. Not exactly a T-Rex strong suit. Gary took out a whole Starbucks just trying to order a latte. And forget about parallel parking. He crushed a minivan trying to squeeze into a spot. Then there's the whole eating thing. Turns out, finding enough prehistoric grub in downtown Omaha isn't exactly a walk in the park. Gary tried hitting up a salad bar, but let's just say he wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms. So the next time you're daydreaming about being a fearsome T-Rex, maybe just stick to watching Jurassic Park. Trust me, it's way less messy that way. So, we've all imagined what it'd be like if aliens finally landed on Earth, right? But did you ever picture them whipping up a big old pot of spaghetti? Yeah, me neither. But that's exactly what happened to Brenda from Des Moines. Brenda always wanted to meet extraterrestrials, but she probably wasn't expecting them to show up in her kitchen, let alone try their hand at Italian cuisine. Now you'd think beings with advanced technology could handle a little pasta, right? Wrong. These guys were all thumbs, literally. They used the colander as a helmet, tried to boil the noodles in the toaster, and don't even get me started on what they were using as a substitute for garlic. The whole kitchen was a disaster zone. Spaghetti sauce splattered on the ceiling, meatballs rolling across the floor, and a strange, otherworldly smell that could only be described as space garlic permeating the air. Brenda, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry for what happened. But hey, at least you have a story for the ages, right? Alright, who hasn't fantasized about being a ghost? Floating through walls, scaring the bejeebers out of people? Sounds like a good time, right? Well, not for Steve from Poughkeepsie. Steve's dream of haunting his own home turned out to be more of a ghostly bummer. Turns out, being a ghost isn't all spooky fun and games. It's actually kind of lonely and boring, especially when you can't interact with anything. Steve tried scaring his cat, Mr. Whiskers, but the feline just yawned and went back to sleep. And forget about trying to haunt the new tenants. They just kept blaming the weird noises on the plumbing. Steve even tried writing spooky messages on the bathroom mirror, but they just thought it was condensation. Talk about deflating. So to everyone out there dreaming of a spectral existence, take it from Steve. Being a ghost is way more trouble than it's worth. Okay, let's be real. Who hasn't dreamed of hopping in a time machine and fixing all their past mistakes? Well, Timmy from Toledo took matters into his own hands, literally. He decided to build his very own time machine. The catch? He only had cardboard, duct tape, and a whole lot of hope. Miraculously, the thing actually worked. Well, sort of. It was less Back to the Future and more Back to Last Tuesday, maybe. Timmy's first stop was ancient Rome, but he accidentally landed in Rome, Georgia. He tried to warn Julius Caesar about the whole Ides of March thing, but Caesar just thought Timmy was a weirdo in a cardboard box. Then there was the time Timmy tried to get Shakespeare's autograph, but accidentally spilled his slushie on the bard's best quill. Timmy's cardboard time machine might not have been the most accurate or glamorous mode of transportation, but hey, at least he tried, right? Now, I love cats as much as the next person, but imagine a world entirely populated by felines. Sounds kinda perfect, right? Not so fast. Meet Jessica from Jacksonville, who accidentally opened a portal to the cat dimension. Let's just say it wasn't the cuddle puddle paradise she was expecting. First off, these weren't your average house cats. We're talking giant, talking felines with a serious attitude problem. They strutted around like they owned the place, which technically, they kind of did. They commandeered all the comfy furniture, demanded tuna on silver platters, and held court on top of refrigerators like furry little overlords. And forget about trying to reason with them. They only spoke in meows, purrs, and the occasional hiss. Jessica's once peaceful home was now a chaotic cat kingdom, with her as the reluctant servant. Alright, we've all wished our furry friends could talk, right? Just imagine the conversations. But be careful what you wish for, folks, because Mark from Milwaukee learned the hard way that a talking dog isn't all belly rubs and games of fetch. It all started innocently enough. Mark's dog, Sparky, started saying a few words here and there. Walk, treat, ball, the usual canine vocabulary. But then, things took a turn for the strange. Sparky started forming full sentences, and not just any sentences, demands. He wanted gourmet meals, a king-size bed, and a personal assistant to scratch his ears 24/7. Mark's life as he knew it was over. He was now living under the reign of Sparky the talking dog. The moral of the story? Be careful what you wish for, especially when it comes to talking dogs. Ever wished you could jump into your favorite video game? I know I have, but be careful what you wish for, my friends, because it might just come true. Just ask Kevin from Kansas City, who found himself sucked into the pixelated world of Super Mario Bros. At first it was like a dream come true. Kevin was hopping on Goombas, collecting coins, and rocking that sweet, sweet Tanuki suit. But then he realized something terrifying. He was stuck. And the only way out? Defeat Bowser and rescue Princess Peach, of course. Easier said than done, right? Kevin quickly learned that navigating the Mushroom Kingdom in real life wasn't as easy as it looked on screen. Those Goombas were way more intimidating up close. And the Koopa Troopas? Don't even get me started on those spiky shells. Kevin had to face off against his childhood hero in a battle for the ages, all while trying to escape a giant, fire-breathing turtle. The lesson here? Be careful what you wish for, because you just might find yourself trapped in a digital world. Alright, who remembers Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Classic movie, right? Well, for Lisa from Los Angeles, it was less of a classic and more of a horrifying reality. One minute she's enjoying a sunny afternoon, the next she's shrunk down to the size of an ant. And let me tell you folks, the backyard is a jungle when you're that small. Suddenly, blades of grass became towering trees, garden hoses transformed into monstrous serpents, and the bird bath, forget about it, that thing was like an Olympic swimming pool. Lisa had to navigate this miniature obstacle course, all while avoiding becoming a snack for hungry spiders, grumpy beetles, and the neighbor's cat, Mittens, who had a newfound interest in her. By the time she found her way back to the house, Lisa was exhausted, terrified, and had a newfound appreciation for the little things in life. Like, not being the size of a crumb. You know the drill. Rub the lamp, genie pops out, grants you 3 wishes. Seems simple enough, right? Well, not for Dave from Denver, who proved that even with magical wishes, you can still make some seriously questionable choices. Dave stumbled upon an ancient lamp during a yard sale, and wouldn't you know it, a genie popped out. But instead of wishing for wealth, fame, or maybe even world peace, Dave went with his stomach. His first wish? Unlimited pizza. Now, I love pizza as much as the next guy, but come on, Dave, you had one job. His second wish? A lifetime supply of soda. Again, a solid choice if you're at a barbecue, but for a genie wish? Swing and a miss, Dave. By the time the genie got to wish number 3, he was practically begging Dave to choose anything else. How about immortality? The genie pleaded. World domination? A talking pony? But Dave was resolute. His final wish? Extra dipping sauce. Dave wasted all 3 wishes on a lifetime supply of pizza, soda, and extra dipping sauce. The moral of the story? Don't be like Dave. Think before you wish, especially when a magical being is offering you unlimited possibilities. Alright, let's talk about clones. They're basically identical copies of you, right down to the last freckle. Sounds kinda cool, right? Well, not if your clone decides to steal your life. Just ask Susan from Seattle, who learned the hard way that 2 Susans are definitely not better than 1. It all started when Susan volunteered for a top-secret cloning experiment, because who hasn't been there? Everything seemed fine at first until her clone, Susan 2.0, decided to go rogue. Susan 2.0 was like Susan, but better. She aced Susan's job presentations, cooked gourmet meals, and even knew how to fold a fitted sheet. Susan's friends and family were smitten with this new and improved version of her. Poor original Susan was left feeling like a faded photocopy, watching from the sidelines as her clone lived her best life. And there you have it, folks. Some of the most absurd, hilarious, and downright disastrous scenarios imaginable. Remember, sometimes even the wildest imaginations can lead to the worst possible outcomes. From giant T-Rex mishaps to alien spaghetti disasters, we've seen it all. We've learned that maybe talking dogs aren't such a good idea. Time travel is best left to the professionals. And if you ever find yourself shrunk to the size of an ant, for the love of all that is good, stay away from the backyard. So the next time you have a crazy idea, think twice before acting on it. Or better yet, share it with us. We promise to turn it into the most hilariously disastrous scenario imaginable.